before we start talking about how to address your client's desire for weight loss or muscle gain, let's talk first about why your client wants to change their body in the first place. Your client basically wants to change their body because they live in a thin obsessed, muscle obsessed, fat phobic culture where, those who don't fit into societal beauty norms or ideals experience stigma and mistreatment. So it makes sense that they're running after this body that they see idolized in the media. Your client wants to change their body and actually doesn't know that you can't determine health status based on weight, BMI, or muscle mass. They are often unaware that weight regain usually follows weight loss. They think that they are going to be an exception to that rule. They may not be aware that losing weight or bulking up is not necessary to improve their health, and that pursuing weight loss and pursuing increased muscle mass can be a very stressful journey. They are often not aware that losing weight or gaining weight is not necessary to improve their body image, or that pursuing weight changes can lead to obsessing over the scale, food and disordered eating, and even ultimately clinical eating disorders. So these are the things your client may not be aware of, the risks of pursuing weight loss or muscle gain that maybe just isn't on their radar. Often when people pursue improving their health, they're thinking about the physical health. They're thinking about the tip of the iceberg, diet and exercise. What's off their radar, or what maybe they're not thinking about, is all the other pieces of the health puzzle. So emotional health, mental health, social health. So when we support the pursuit of weight loss, we don't necessarily end up supporting health from a holistic viewpoint, because often pieces of the health puzzle are reduced instead of improved from a weight loss journey. Your clients have a desire to control their bodies. We are all people who generally like to have control. And your client thinks that they can control their health behaviors, and they think they can control how much weight they lose, and they think they can control keeping that weight off. They think they can control the body shape that results from the pursuit of weight loss. And they even think they can control where the fat tissue, disappears from their body. They think they can control where on their body they might see changes in fat mass and lean body mass. They think they can control how much their body fat percentage is as a result of these changes, and they think they can control their lab values. The truth is, we really can't control any of these things. All that is within the client's control is really their health-related behaviors. But even then, a lot of folks don't have control over their health-related behaviors if they're experiencing the social determinants of health, if they're experiencing things like poverty, food insecurity, access to health care. They may honestly not have access to safe neighborhoods and places to be active, and therefore can't really control their health-related behaviors in the way they'd like to. So for a health coach or a dietitian or counselor, the ultimate dilemma is that when you're approaching a client from a motivational interviewing perspective, it can feel a little bit conflicting because the client's saying, I want to lose weight. But what the practitioner knows is that focusing on weight can cause harm. Also that, you could help this client with health even if their weight doesn't change. And you could even explore their body image, and they can experience improvements in body image even if their weight doesn't change. But motivational interviewing is this client-centered approach. So you may be asking yourself, should I give this client what they want because I'm trying to be aligned with the spirit of MI? Well, not necessarily, because what the client is hoping to pursue is weight loss or bulking up, and they're not aware oftentimes of the risks involved with pursuing that journey, and therefore that can present as a form of misinformation. So it's important to address their misinformation using motivational interviewing, but most importantly, holding space, treating them through the lens of the spirit of MI with acceptance, compassion, partnership, and empowerment. So the ultimate dilemma is, how do we hold space for our clients' desire to change their body? Understanding that, of course, this desire is a result of living in a thin obsessed, muscle obsessed culture where folks in larger bodies are mistreated, while also addressing their desire to pursue weight loss or to pursue bulking up as a form of misinformation, because they just don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. They perceive that the pursuit of weight loss or bulking up will improve their health, not understanding that there's a genetic component of what happens to people's weight when they make health-related changes, and not understanding that health is so much more multifaceted than just looking at weight. But ultimately, how do we support clients in pursuing self-care patterns that honor both their physical health but also their emotional well-being?